Episodi I 21 I sezonit 3 të PodKastit FLASIM ka një surprizë. Një surprizë sepse flasim për shqiptarë që ikin, flasim për shqiptarë që vinë, flasim për italian apo edhe në raste të tjera për të tjerë të huaj që martohen me shqiptare apo që martohen me shqiptar, vinë, zgjedhin të jetojnë këtu, por asnjëherë s'kemi folur për një japonez që ka vendosur të jetojë në Shqipëri. Dhe jo një japonez do si do, por ambasadori I Japonisë në Shqipëri, I cili për thuajse 40 vjet ka punuar deri në nivelin e zëvendës presidentit të kompanisë famshme Mitsubishi, që duke mbyllur mandatin e tij të fundit në karrierë, vendos që të shkojë në Japoni dhe pastaj, pas pak muajsh, të rikthehet për të jetuar së bashku me shoqin në Shqipëri. Ambassador and dear friends, I am very, very humbled to have you here, not as Your Excellency, but as Mike, my friend, and as the youngest resident of Tirone.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time, and I'm very honored to be invited to a podcast today. So I came back here on April 22nd after finishing my mandate as ambassador last November with my wife, Nana.
April 24.
Oh, 22nd. 22nd.
22nd,
Yeah, 22nd.
Yeah.
So my wife is also very happy to be back here. We started new life in Albania.
Now, I know because we have met, we have talked, and I know your love for the country, your big surprise about, wow, this country.
Yeah.
But for the people that are with us in this podcast, it would be great if you can tell me when this idea, strange idea of living in Albania after finishing your brilliant career as an active, let's say, servant in private and public sector started to form in your mind?
Oh yes, after finished my mandate end of last November. And frankly speaking, I received several consultations from private sectors. So Ambassador, after you finish your mandate, what we should do, because they still have some pending project and negotiating several business under negotiations. So of course I finished my job, and I can tell them, oh, sorry, I finished my, job, and it's up to you, and I'm ready to leave everything to you. But I think it's a little bit shame to give up, and I thought it's better to continue, support them to achieve their initial target. So, of course, as the Prime Minister knows, I live, and my wife lives in Albania, and one idea
but this is very noble. But still, you are, let's say, you are a wealthy person because you have served in one of the biggest corporates in the world. You have been vice president, and then, of course, you had a good salary as a diplomat, ambassador.
Yeah.
And you could go back to Tokyo and help them from Tokyo.
Yeah.
But deciding to have a house here and to live here,
yes.
It's a bit more complicated, no? Or let's say it's a bit more surprising.
I see. Okay, from my career and experience, to watch that business way of proceeding a business way in Albania, that the remote support is not so much effective, frankly speaking. So I should stay here and have face-to-face meeting with Albanian business persons and to support the negotiation between Albanian business person and Japanese ones. Otherwise, that's very, very difficult.
I understand.
Yeah.
So it's the way you work. I know you serious. You are not, if you do something, you are 100%, not 90%. But how much Albania played the role? Okay, the people, very good. But what, because, you know, life is, it goes on. So how much Albania influenced you to make this decision?
Albania is a very beautiful country that is very popular among the world. And through my 3 years experience before, I thought I can spend much more time unusual life, which I cannot experience in Japan. Okay.
For example?
For example, that now I'm living in Jokai, Bole, and my surroundings are very, beautiful places. Still a lot of nature remained. And I can get organic homemade yogurt, fresh milk from neighborhood. So such life I cannot do in Japan. So
you are exaggerating, no?
Oh no.
Because
I'm not,
because thanks to you, I visited Japan.
Yeah.
And you know how mesmerized I was. And among all the places, this is one that has just went beyond every imagination. And nature, of course, there is a lot of nature in Japan, and then there is everything there. So Tokyo, of course, is very dense. Of course, you don't have nature in the neighborhood, but still, So you are not exaggerating a bit?
Not my personalities, but Tokyo, Japan is very beautiful and very clean, very convenient. But too much convenient for me. So I believe I have some nostalgia to be back some 20 years, 30 years ago in Japan. So Albania still has such situations and occasions. So to enjoy life is much more important for us.
And when you were nominated to come to Albania, did you know anything about Albania, or was completely unknown?
Frankly speaking, almost zero.
Zero. And what you thought? Wow, where I go?
Well, that Albania first time, and I started checking the map. Where is Albania? And I found, that is a very good location in front of Italy, north of Greece. My wife also very surprised. That must be a very nice places. Then first thing I did was I started checking website in Albania on Google Japanese versions, but I couldn't get enough information. And next day I went to bookshops. I started checking available books, but only a few. And I bought of them and started reading, and somehow I got outline of Albania. But still, a lot of questions. Anyway, let's go there. And of course, my predecessor, Ambassador Ito, called me up and congratulations, you are appointed as Ambassador of Japan to Albania. You do not know about Albania, but it's a very good country, wonderful countries. Do not worry about anything don't worry anything about that. So I trusted his words and came here. That's very good countries.
What was your first picture of Albania?
Oh yes, my first impression was very vibrant countries. Okay, looks like 30 years, 40 years ago, Japan. Very, many people are very positive and want to develop a new business or to reform something. So I felt that very vibrant countries and energy I felt. That's my first impression.
What was the first thing you saw? The mountain?
Mountains. And then from the Tirone airport to the cities, that road and some fields and farmland and some buildings, roads and constructions. At that time, I had some traffic jam, but I found a lot of constructions in the cities. So again, I found this growing up countries. That's my first impression.
And then you arrive, you settle, and you start meeting people.
Yeah.
So what was your impression of the people when you met people?
First impression was very friendly, and they had a meeting with me with much hospitality, and they are so kind. Give me a very good advice, and so on. So of course, it's a little bit. I found a little bit difference of cultural background. Okay. So as you can see, that Japanese people is very diligent, work very hard and very punctual, and we're planning everything precisely, and to keep deadlines and so on. But after that, I found Albanian people values families, friends, and they are very good at enjoying their own life.
And how you found your colleagues? You know, the other ambassadors.
Oh, other countries' ambassadors?
Yes.
Yes, all of them are very happy and they enjoy life in Albania. Then, one thing I was astonished in Albania was neighborhood is very safe, right? So that I personally think that among European countries, Albania is the safest place. That's my opinions. And then other ambassadors told me the same opinions. European ambassadors don't tell about much details about, but frank opinion is Albania is the safest country in Europe. I have the same opinions.
Yeah, it's very safe.
Yeah.
Because more and more in Europe, especially in big cities, they have a problem of robbery. They have a problem of harassment, and they have a problem of even more than that, unfortunately, especially in the night. There are streets you can't even walk, and let alone to be a woman walking alone and so on. But the feeling of safety is very interesting, is a feeling that every foreigner shares. The immediate feeling is, oh, he's safe. And sometimes we don't really appreciate this, sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you started to, now you have to tell me, you are free now. You started to have the interaction with the institutions. How you found this interaction?
I found much difference between way of doing business between Albania and Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better. I think it's better to talk about Japanese private sector's characteristics, how they are doing business, how they are thinking. Okay, so firstly, that Japanese people, as I told you, always make meticulously precise planning, and to prepare that the change of the futures. They are always thinking about the scenario planning, and to think about
Plan A, Plan B.
Yes, Plan A, B, C, and what will happen in the futures. And we do not waste of time to select alternative ways. Okay, that is the first point. And also to proceed that project as scheduled. Again, I'd like to tell you that we respect the deadline. So to achieve that, to keep that deadline, all Japanese people working very hard, even later tonight. That is our first point. And the second point is trust. Japanese companies respect and think it's very important that trust. It's not only for own companies, but also mutual trust. So in Japan, there's a very famous proverb, 3 days of castle construction, 1 day of castle falls. So if once misconduct occurs, that trust collapsed at once. So now these days, the most important thing is safety and compliance. For more details, when I joined Mitsubishi Corporation, one of the largest trading and investment company, the cooperation among Mitsubishi groups in 1981. The first thing I was told by senior of my company was 3 basic principles. So first one is contribution to society. Second one is integrity and fairness. Third one is understanding through business. So 3 basic corporate principles that was set about 100 years ago by Mitsubishi Group's founder, Mr. Iwasaki. So I keep that 3 principles always in my mind while I was working in Mitsubishi. That is the basic principles. And next one is Japanese people think when they start some business, and they are always thinking their counterpart, business partners. So, for example, once they receive something, some request, all people are thinking very seriously what kind of contribution they can do to their business partners and what things would be helpful to their business partners. Very seriously. That's the reason why they respect smooth communications. So basically that communication is not interrupted, usually. That is the next point. And last point would be teamwork. As you may know, that Japanese people is very good at teamwork. That background is agricultural background. Since old days, Japanese people work in one unit, village by village. So all people is farming some land together with their, families or something like that. If somebody is not cooperative, that family is always kicked out. So still, Japanese people is respecting teamwork, and each individual competence is not big, but overall, that the total competence makes larger. That is a secret point and a strong point of Japanese corporations.
I remember, and this is one of my most shocking discoveries of the world, when we were in Japan, and I was told that when people go to work in their company or in their institution, them who arrive first with their car, park the car farther than the door, because they leave the place near the door to them who will come later, because the success of the company and the success of the institution depends on the work of everyone. And this was, and I wanted to ask you, if you go back to 30, 40, 50 years, when Japan started to take shape, what would be, in your opinion, the key, or what were the keys of success? So what you did in Japan that transformed Japan from a country that was poor, that had so many problems, in a country that shines in the world like a role model?
Oh, that period was I still was a kid, and before I was born. But at the end of World War II, that Japan was nothing. Everything was gone and burnt out. So we should start from scratch. And Japan is a small country, and the disadvantage, no natural resources. So we should make something for export. But to achieve that target, we should import raw material. So that the basic business model is to import raw material, natural resources, process, add value, and export. Otherwise, we cannot survive. So all Japanese people understood that point. So should pay something to import, make something, add value, export to get revenue. So to achieve that target, everybody recognizes should work very hard.
And this implied a very, very competitive education system, right?
Exactly. So I recall my childhood. I went to a private kindergarten and primary schools. In my case, I went to a very good primary school. That primary school used to be for the children of Army and Navy officials. So in due course, the education is very strict disciplines, and the teaching method is very high levels. I had to study very hard, but of course I, took part of club activities. I played candles, but that is a very big influence in development of my character, I believe. So again, I like to tell you that as Prime Minister knows, Japanese educational systems is their teaching discipline, and not only at school but also at home.
Discipline and solidarity.
Yeah, exactly. I believe that is key success factors to get the solidarity of Japanese people to start from the scratch after World War II. All of them worked very hard, and to our.
I remember when we were together to go to enter this temple, and it was a long queue.
Yes.
Very long queue.
Yeah.
Everyone was standing, quiet, or reading, or looking. And I said to you, what would happen if we go faster? And and you said nothing. And I said, how nothing? We will go and they are waiting. You said nothing. Nobody will tell anything. I said, how possible? Anyhow, we did it in Albanian way. We went faster. Nobody. And then when we got out of the temple, I said to you, but what they thought of us? And you said, maybe they think you were crazy. So they are sympathetic. Okay, these people are nuts.
No.
Ambassador, I want to come back to Albania and to ask you about your family life. You have a very admirable wife, and she's a very good cook. And but how is life when you have to go work all the time, and your wife is there waiting for you? And is this how is this in terms of tradition, and also in terms of modern times?
It's a sort of tradition in Japan. And a housewife, these days it's changing. Okay, so but for my generations, housewife is keeping, doing housekeeping.
So this was the norm.
It's a norm. But my wife's case, doing the same thing, but in addition to that, she has good hobbies, playing the flute. He loves the music, and also he loves the natures. And
so when you told her that you would like to come back and to live here, what she said?
Oh yeah, that's right. Just after I made myself. Oh, of course I should tell her that I needed her to be with me, and then I decided I want to be back to Albania. Okay? How do you think about it? She agreed to my opinion and ideas without any problems.
No, democratically, not.
No pressures, no pressures. Of course, I'm watching her, response. Oh, really? That's a very interesting. Frankly speaking, he wanted to live here longer. We spent only 3 years, and so no problems to extend.
And now, beyond your, your occupation of work with these Albanian businesses, you connected with Japan, and you want this to go further and to materialize in a bond between the two countries through business. What are your plans about your free time? What you want to do? What you want to explore more in Albania? You have seen a lot of places here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Already visited.
Where you would go back?
Oh yeah, that is a very good, but difficult questions. As Prime Minister knows, I visit most of major cities and surround between culture and almost all cities, and the north too. And I love natures. So if I was asked the most fascinating places, first one is
Valbona, yes.
North. That is so beautiful, very calm. Okay, a beautiful mountain.
You have been to Theth?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's too,
Theth
and also very
magic.
much too. I had a spiritual experience, and also that I like Blue Eye in South. Always recommending, my friends, it's better to visit there. Then another place is Lake Alfredo. Okay? So Valbona, Blue Eye South, Alfredo Lake. Because whenever I am there, I can be relaxed, fully relaxed. Oh, that's very good. And I can forget everything about the business and everything. So that is three best places.
What your friends in Japan said to you when you said, no, I'm not leaving here, I'm going back to Albania?
So, frankly speaking, I'm very good at PR guy for Albania. Okay.
I'm sure about that.
So, everybody...
Your friends, what they said? They said, are you crazy or...?
Oh, no. Oh, they asked me, Takada-san, Mr. Takada, why you decided to Albania? But they recalled, I did the business more than 70 countries. I know that all over the world, and
so among 70 countries, you choose Albania?
Exactly. So that is a very good appealing point, and everybody knows. Oh, Ambassador knows, all countries, 70 countries, and then he selected Albania, which means must be a very attractive country. Everybody is telling me that Mr. Takada, I must be there. Please, okay, accept me. Of course. And then in the last 3 years, and I started contacting private sectors in Japan. They never knew about Albania, but I counted. Total 60 business persons visited here. Okay, all of them are first time. And always I'm asking, what's your impression? All of them told me the same word. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, totally different word I ever heard in Japan. And I wanted to be here again. Some business person came here in the last 2.5 years, 7 times. It's amazing. Almost, every quarter he is coming here and trying to find new business opportunities. Likewise, for Japanese. So Albania is very attractive countries, I can guarantee you. So to promote tourism from Japan, now, a number of tourists from Japan has started increasing, but still very limited. 2 reasons. We need more promotion.
And airway.
That's right. That physically remote, 22 hours by, air. So, while I was ambassador, I got a good proposal from Minister of Tourism to invite a travel agent from Japan, and to have them deepen their understanding to make a very good package tours. But unfortunately, it's not materialized. But that is a very good idea.
We should work on that.
Yeah. Then once we promote. Of course, together with your embassy in Tokyo, that is very important to promote tourism among Japanese peoples. I believe it's still very potential because very experienced Japanese tourists still looking for new destination. And I'm telling to travel agent to Japan, Albania is the last resort in Europe. Must be a best destination for Japanese tourists.
And the last question, of course, everyone has the right to make his mind, everyone has the right to decide, live here, go there, and I don't want this to be like you preaching to. But anyhow, what would you tell to an Albanian that thinks, no, here it's not worth, I'm going? What would you tell?
I believe it depends on that each person's positions. Basically, they are looking for higher salaries to earn more monies. But once again, it's better to review in the life in Albania. and to try to find good jobs. And on the other hand, Albanian corporations and private sectors should think about the situations and to create the new jobs, which they can pay more salaries. So I'm not sure that how much I can contribute to the sectors, but my basic idea is if I find good business opportunities collaborating with Japanese companies to make joint ventures in these countries, we may a good collaboration joint venture to add values. In that case, that joint venture pay good salaries to keep capable Albanian youngsters. So that's my dream.
Thank you very much.
That's my pleasure. Thank you very much, Prime Minister.
You never stop dreaming, and this is what makes you be always young, always energetic, and be not just a good Japanese, but also a good Albanian.
Thank you so much, Prime Minister.
Ky ishte qytetari I parë japonez I Shqipërisë, një personalitet në botën e biznesit japonez, siç thash, zonës president I korporatës gjigande Mitsubishi, që pasi ka vizituar 79 vende të botës, jo si turist, po për punë, ka shkuar, ka ardhur dhe pasi shërbeu dhe si ambasador japonez, vendosi që vendi për të jetuar është Shqipëria.